Hi everybody, welcome to the Stable Health Studio. I am going to guide you through a swift standing practice incorporating some of the Warrior One poses that we've been exploring in our live classes. So we're going to start standing at the top of the mat today and get straight to it. So let's come all the way up onto our feet and to the top of the mat. So when you get to the top of your mat, just take a moment here to really let your feet settle. So the feet could be at hip distance apart, or you can have them a little bit closer. Maybe your big toes are drawing towards each other, maybe even touching. And then let's just take a couple of moments here to breathe and to land right into this moment so that we can really make the most of this swift practice today. So bring all of your attention to your feet initially. You might like to close your eyes here and just let the hands rest either side of the body. And feel your feet really connect with the earth beneath you. So you could start to push down into the ball joint of the foot and then feel the outer edge of the foot by the little toe connect, just a little bit further back from the little toe. And then start to push evenly down through your heel, or your heels, and start to really find this lovely connection through the feet. So we're really steady and supported in this pose. So coming into our mountain pose, into Tadasana. And we'll start the practice here, just taking a moment to notice how we're feeling, taking a nice couple of deep breaths, and steadying ourselves ready to find some movement into the body. So start to connect with your breath here. Let's take a really nice big breath in together. So inhaling through the nostrils, feel the belly, come into the belly so your belly really begins to fill up like a big balloon here. And then as you exhale, you might choose to part your lips and very gently sigh the breath away. As you do this, you could consciously draw your shoulders all the way down the back of the body, down towards your tailbone. And then keep this breath cycle going. Nothing fancy here, just beginning to connect with that ebb and flow of breath. And as you do this, begin to draw energy all the way up your legs. So here, there's a sense of the kneecaps lifting, drawing that energy all the way up into the thighs. The thighs are gently drawing towards each other, and we begin to engage through the low abdominals, through the glutes, and we let this sense of energy, of engagement lift all the way up the body, right up to the crown, so we feel strong through the whole of the body as we stand here, breathing at the top of the mat. So soften through your skin, across the face, across the brow, through the jaw. Notice if you're gripping or holding any tension. And we'll take another few breaths here before we start to move. So although we're standing tall and still in our mountain pose, beginning to find a little bit of stillness and calm through the body, we also connect with that movement, that pulsation of breath through the body. So even though we come into a pose where we're finding some stillness, we're also finding space in the body to breathe. So making space, letting that breath travel all the way through the spine, right to the crown, and connecting with that feeling of movement with the breath traveling through the body. So take a moment longer here to find your connection with all of those things today. Maybe you very gently draw your chin in just a fraction, allowing a little bit more length to come through the neck. Gently engaging through the abdominals, drawing the navel back towards the spine. Finding some focus, grounding ourselves into this moment. And then very gently, let's bat the eyes open and start to draw the palms in towards the heart space. Thumbs just gently pressing in towards the chest, and bow your chin down towards your fingertips. Great. Let's take a nice big breath and sweep the hands all the way up overhead. Inhaling, fingertips reaching all the way up towards the ceiling. Maybe the palms kiss together overhead, and then we exhale and release the hands all the way back down. And again, we sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, release the hands down. And again, syncing the breath and the movement, so breathing in, lifting the arms up, exhaling all the way back down. Inhale, push the ground away with the feet, lifting up nice and tall, maybe gazing up towards the hands this time. Exhale all the way back down. Once more, just like this, inhale, lifting that energy up overhead, this time palms together. And then exhale, we hinge from the hips and we start to come all the way through down into Uttanasana. So again here, there's a choice to separate the feet if you've had your feet closer together, or you can keep them close together. It's your choice. I like to have my feet at hip distance apart as I come into my first forward fold. So I'm just finding a little bit of movement here in Uttanasana. Just very gently swaying from side to side. You can bend your knees here as much as you need to if the hamstrings feel tight. And just let everything begin to settle here as you come into your forward fold. Drawing the chin all the way in towards the chest. Again, finding some length all the way through the spine. Nice big breath in, exhale, release, and then slowly start to unravel, really push down into the feet, activate through the legs again, draw yourself all the way up, head's the last thing to lift, and we sweep the arms all the way back up and repeat the same thing, palms together, slicing all the way down the midline into our fold. This time lifting up into half forward fold. So coming into this number 7 shape, finding some length through the spine, pulling in through the belly, just gentle activation. Arms are hugging in towards the side of the body, and we release all the way back down. And lifting the arms wide this time, up overhead, palms together. We're coming all the way back down. Inhale into half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Roll your shoulders back here a fraction. Exhale back down, sweep the arms wide, root to rise, lift that energy up, and again sweeping all the way back down. This time lifting up, half forward fold, exhale, folding down your palms and step your right foot towards the back of your mat. And we're coming into a high lunge. So we've been playing around with this quite a lot in class. We're going to lift up into our high lunge, but find that footing through both feet, pushing into the ball joint of your right foot. Steady yourself through the legs and lift yourself up all the way into your high lunge. Take a breath here, contain through your low ribs, activate through that back leg, your right leg, really pushing back into your right heel, spiking through the heel, engaging through your right glutes as much as you can, breathing deeply all the time. Exhale, both palms floating down towards the ground, press into the ground and send it back into downward facing dog. Take a moment here, inhale. Exhale, let the heels settle down towards the ground. They don't need to meet. Take a moment here. Exhale. Push into the left foot and sweep the right leg up behind you. And then start to open up through your hip here. So your right heel drops down towards the left side of the mat. So opening up through the hip flexor. Take a nice breath here. And then exhale, push your right heel all the way back up towards the sky, coming back into your three-legged dog. Taking a breath. Exhale, bend that right knee and squeeze the right knee all the way up towards your nose. Hover here in plank and then step the right foot all the way through. Great. And then take a moment here again. in your runner's lunge just to find your footing, breathing deeply. And then exhale, drop your left foot down. So coming into your warrior one position here. So your left heel is down onto the ground, foot is at about 45 degrees. Bend into your right knee. So right knee is aligned with your right ankle. Push into your feet and sweep your arms all the way up, coming into warrior one. Breathing deeply. Inhale. Exhale, lift up into that right leg. So feel that energy draw right up into your right hip and then start to pull back through the right hip as you float forwards into your pyramid pose. So hands are reaching down onto the fingertips or maybe onto blocks if you want to bring the ground up to you a little bit. So careful not to lock completely through your right leg here. Keep drawing back through the right hip, and left heel is really drawing down towards the ground. Engaging through the knife edge of the left foot. Lift up a little bit here, open up through the sternum, find some length through the spine. Exhale, we release all the way down as much as we can, forehead drawing down, chin in towards the chest. Keep the breath flowing, really breathe into the space. Start to bend your right knee, push back down into the right foot, and then lift the arms up, back into warrior one. Keep grounding down through your left heel. Draw your shoulders down the back of the body, big breath in. Exhale, we're coming all the way back into downward facing dog. Let's take a vinyasa here. So we're going to lift up onto the tiptoes. Feel your hips lift a little bit higher, drawing through the belly and roll through into your plank pose. One nice long line from crown to tailbone. Push back through the heels. Breathe deeply, then lower your knees. Chest, chin sliding through and coming through into baby bhujangasana, into your baby cobra. So the arms here are really hugging into the ribs, pushing down into the palms, energizing through the legs, breathing deeply, staying here just a moment longer. And then we release the forehead down to the ground, tucking the toes, lifting up through the legs, and pushing ourselves up into plank and back into downward facing dog. Gazing up towards the top of the mat, take a step or a jump all the way back into Uttanasana. Lift up, half forward fold. Exhale, folding back down, and then root to rise. Sweep the arms up, palms together. And then very gently just bring the hands down into the heart space and take a moment here. Soak up that energy that's beginning to move around the body. Notice how you're feeling since you stepped onto your mat. Notice those little shifts and changes in the body, all the little sensations that are coming up. And then we'll take this short flow over to the other side. So when you're ready, rooting down into your feet, feeling nice and steady, breathing in, lifting the arms up, palms together, hinging all the way down into Uttanasana, lifting up half forward fold. Exhale, folding down. This time we're stepping the left leg all the way back and coming into our runner's lunge. So left foot is lifted a little bit, so the heel of the left foot is lifted. And we bring ourselves all the way up into our into our high lunge. Take a breath here. Inhale. Breathing deeply. Exhale, releasing hands to the ground. And we step right foot back into downward facing dog. Spread the palms. Use your breath here, take a pedal through the feet or just let your heels settle down towards the ground. Bending your knees, as much as you need to in your downward facing dog. As you do this, you can lift your hips a little bit higher and find some lovely length through your spine. So let's settle into the right foot now and sweep the left leg up behind. So coming into our three-legged dog, taking a moment here and then start to bend that left knee and let your left heel draw over to the right side, so towards your right buttock, opening up through the left hip. Using your breath here, feeling that strength, that warmth. Exhale, push your heel, your left heel back up towards the sky. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bend your left knee. Draw it all the way through towards your nose. Upper body's in plank. Hold here for a moment. 3, 2, 1, and step your left foot through. Help it through if you need to. And then here, we're coming into our warrior one position. So we're going to hop the right foot in a little bit. Find that footing again, left knee over the left ankle. Push down into the feet and lift yourself up into your warrior one. So finding a real sense of stability and strength in this pose here. And contain again through your low ribs. Breathing deeply, inhale. Draw that energy all the way up your left leg this time. And then we're releasing down into our pyramid pose. So this can feel really intense in the hamstrings. Sometimes it can help to hop the back foot in just a fraction more if you need to. Remember, you can use blocks to bring the ground up to you. And then don't rush this place. So feel your way into the pose. Notice where you feel that tension, where you feel the tightness. Notice what's happening to your breath. And then really try to breathe into this pose. So we're not rushing through from pose to pose. We're taking time, using the breath to find space. Maybe lifting up a fraction, opening up through the sternum, finding some length in the spine, and then releasing the crown down towards the ground. One more breath here in your pyramid pose. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift back to warrior one. So bending into that left leg, push into your feet and draw that energy all the way up, arms reaching up alongside the ears. Draw the shoulders down the back of the body. One breath here in your warrior one. Exhale, release your hands all the way to the ground. And then step yourself back into downward facing dog. Let's take another vinyasa here, or you could rest in a child's pose if that's where you feel like your body needs to be today. So choose your option, make it your own. Don't force into a place that you don't want to go. If you're coming through a vinyasa, you're lifting the hips, coming up onto the tiptoes and rolling into your plank. And from here, there's 2 options to come through: knees, chest and chin, and sliding through into your cobra. Or you might choose to come into your plank and push a little bit further through so your shoulders come ahead of your wrists and you really hug your arms into the side of the body as you come through Chaturanga Dandasana. So we come through one long line and we push all the way through into our upward facing dog. So the thighs are lifting away from the ground, shoulders drawing back, opening up through the chest, taking a breath here, and then we exhale back to downward facing dog. So take a moment to play here. There's no rush. You can always pause the video, have a little practice, or come down onto the knees and take a lovely restorative child's pose, bringing the forehead to the ground. Find that lovely connection. Just allow everything here. with that feeling of energy beginning to move through the body. Notice what's going on in the thinking mind. Perhaps you are back in downward facing dog now after playing around with your choice of Vinyasa. Wherever you are, just take a moment to acknowledge that internal chatter. And then really soak up a feeling of strength and positivity from exploring your warrior poses, your warrior one pose and your pyramid pose. And then from here, we're going to take a step or a jump all the way to the top of the mat, back into our Uttanasana. Let's hang out here for a moment. And when you're ready, slowly start to unravel. Bring yourself all the way back up into your mountain pose, back into Tadasana, where we started. Just taking a moment. And let the breath settle. Feel that nice rush of energy into your head space. Again, palms gently press inwards. Draw the thumbs towards the chest, and again, just let your chin roll down towards your fingertips. Soften through the face. And just soak up that short flow. An opportunity to bring a little bit of heat and energy into the body. Chance to step onto the mat and to show up exactly how you are. No need to change anything, but just an opportunity to acknowledge how you are in this moment right now, without drawing comparisons to any other practice or to a previous day or even a previous hour. Let's reach the arms up overhead. Exhale all the way down. Release the hands, let the breath go. Namaste. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for practicing with me.